did y'all miss us? Because we sure missed you. Look, watch, like, and subscribe to our channel at Sister Sis 1988, as well as follow us on all our social media platforms at Sister Sis 1988. We're coming back with our second segment with our phenomenal guest, Miss Karen Gross, and she's discussing with us the beautiful work that she does with our youth in schools and around the community. So we're going to go ahead and dive in and let Calandra get into these questions.
Righty, Miss Karen. So what are some challenges you've encountered in implementing your art program, and how have you overcome them?
Well, the biggest challenge is always the biggest challenge, and that is money. Having organizations able to pay for it, right? Our schools need funding incredibly. So one of the things that we have done really well is form partnerships. We're working on a new partnership with our Department of Justice and using drug prevention money to do our process and teach students to be connected. And the reason that this is appealing to the Department of Justice is that there have been kids in our program who have said, everybody tells us what not to do, but this is the first program that ever told us what to do.
Okay. Sounds
right.
awesome.
So money is always the challenge, but it's out there.
Okay. So like within your organization, so do you guys normally like apply for grants and things like that? Or like how are you guys funded?
Yeah, so generally it is just user pay, or whoever we work for pays straight up. But sometimes organizations do get grants. We don't employ a grant writer. We let the organization do that for us.
I see. Okay. So can
I'm
you
also
go?
stupid. I'm also ridiculously generous, but that's
Oh,
another topic.
yourself. Okay. I'm guilty of that one too, so I can definitely relate. Alrighty. So can you explain what exactly is team building to you, and why is it important in various aspects of life, including work, sports, community, and settings like that?
So when I was working in the corporate world, I was the person who was always sick on team building day because I thought it was a ridiculous use of time.
Okay.
Right? Like there is work to be doing and let's just treat one another nice. And then when I was given this process, I was in a desperate mode. I had left a nice job and I'm like, you better show me what you want me to do. And I was given this process. And all of a sudden, I clearly understood how important it was for us to stand side by side and create really incredible things together, and to have shared experiences that could carry us through times when we don't necessarily like the person that we're working beside. But shared experiences like looking at the art that you created together will remind you how important you are to one another. That's why team building is important.
Okay. I see the art that's actually behind you there. Who is that from? Some of your students, or like where is that from? Can you explain a little bit to us about that?
Yeah, so generally teams keep their art, but every once in a while I have a test project or a group of friends. And so, yeah, all of those were created by at least 4 people at once. The one with the sun in the corner, that was created by 4 women with a bottle of wine. They
Oh,
had a
okay.
great time.
Okay, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah,
All
because
right.
I was gonna ask later. I was like, oh, she got a lot of stuff back there. I'm gonna have to ask.
Yeah, isn't that, yeah, my life of color.
And you're so passionate about it when you talk about it. You're so, so it's beautiful. I like what you're doing.
I think art is always fun, though.
Right.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
making me want to go to sip and paint.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right, right.
Paint with a twist.
Yeah, you probably that would be good. And that's good mental too. Just sitting there, it does something. Doing those strokes with that brush. You're right. It does.
All righty, Miss Karen, can you share some examples of situations where effective team building has led to tangible benefits? And what are those outcomes?
Yeah, so I love to work with teams who are trying to establish some kind of change. And we get in the middle of the process, and everybody has painted their little tree and their little car and their flowers. And then we have somebody who throws white paint at the canvas. And your faces are all exactly what happened yesterday. When the white paints came out, somebody threatened to hit me yesterday, and she was a little tiny gal. And it's like, oh. And that, right? That's how bonded they were. That was how incredibly powerful it was to be in that process. The reason we throw white paint at the canvas is life does that to us all the time, right? We go along with our goal, we think we know what we're doing, and all of a sudden it's like, crash it out. And you have to decide, are you going to quit? Are you going to cope? Or are you going to create something new and better? And so my insight is that about 80% of the time, people create something better. And I think that's a beautiful thing for us to remember when white paint gets thrown at our world, that 80% of the time we're going to create something better. And so let's just do that.
Mhm.
Right.
Hmm.
Right.
So
Well,
was it
go ahead,
cup?
Jamie. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Was it a cup or gallon or what was it? What was she threatening to throw? What was it?
We use all kinds of things. It depends on what the team needs at the moment. Sometimes it's just a brush of white paint, and sometimes it's a big old bottle, and I just squirt it at it. One
Uh-oh.
day, I threatened to squirt paint at a bottle, I threatened to squirt paint at a canvas. And the principal of the high school was working on that canvas. He's a great big guy, and he grabbed me around the shoulders, and he said, "I will throat punch you." And the whole room was in complete silence, and they were shocked.
Uh-oh.
And I was the one smiling because that's when I knew they had turned into a team.
Oh, okay. So
Because he wanted to protect it.
right. So when you're doing your work, you have something that you're looking for within that group.
Yes.
You're looking for something particular. Okay. And when you
I have it
find
timed. Oh, so I'm sorry. I'll tell you just briefly. I have 3 stages: begin, nobody wants to do it; become, we're becoming a team; and believe, which is afterwards when you're like, oh, we can do anything together. But in each of those stages, I have it timed down to the minute what people should be doing, like giving thumbs up and somebody taking a knee and welcoming other people. And if teams don't do that, I either know who the trouble causer is on the team, or I can influence them to behave in the way I want with the music and other things that we use.
okay. So at the end of the the session, I call it
Yeah.
a session, that be the right word. Do
Yep.
you know what you noted?
Yes.
Do people always like what they hear?
No. It depends on what you want. For instance, we worked with the team yesterday where at the end of the day, she said, I know I have problems with my team. Who do you think the trouble people are? And I was very clearly able to tell who is causing trouble on the team, who's not engaged. But most of the time we do this for just fun and love. But yeah, I really can tell you a lot about who's behaving and who's not because of the process.
Okay. So as we close out, like what can you leave us with? Like what do you take away from this the most? Because it seems like you really enjoy art. Like can you
Yeah.
tell us
Right.
what do you take away from this?
Yeah, so I love art. I'm not an artist. What I take away is the human connection of people. There's electricity in the room of
Okay.
people standing together, and they'll stand back and they'll tilt their head to the left, and they'll tilt it to the right, and they'll elbow one another, and then they'll smile. Because just like you guys are creating this amazing podcast together, that's what they're doing with the art, and they love
Okay.
that feeling. So tilt your head left, tilt it right, smile.
Right. Got it. Left, right, smile. We got
Left,
it.
right, smile. And so do you only work with teams?
No, we are transitioning to work primarily with teens because that work needs to be done so desperately, but we
Okay.
work with companies all over the nation.
Okay.
Oh wow. So it's like you do like a consult.
Yes, yep,
Oh,
we will fly in anywhere, and
oh
we work
wow.
with teams of up to 1,400 people, and that's just fun. If you want to have a powerful experience, 25 to 40 is really good,
So
but we
what does
work with
that
up
look
to
like though? So if someone is flying you in, just say like in a corporate environment, what does that look like?
Yeah, so we come in and we meet in boardrooms and
Okay.
auditoriums. We throw tarps on the floor and plastic on the walls and set up a whole creek full of canvas
Mm-hmm.
and run people through the process.
Okay.
Oh wow. Okay.
Good. Sounds
Okay.
interesting.
Yeah, it's
Very
pretty
cool.
crazy. I never would have dreamed that if I would have designed what I was going to do with my life, it wouldn't have been this. But now I would never, ever, ever let it go. I'm like, let's go
Yeah,
drag
and it
paintbrushes
was
around the nation.
it's so different
Yes.
and creative, and a lot of companies and schools and different communities would probably benefit from it. So I can see that like getting really big. How so you're pretty busy.
We are pretty busy, yes. And we are in the process of training people to do what I do because
Oh,
the
okay.
work that we're doing in schools is so important. And so if people want to learn how to do this, they can just contact me and we'll run them through the process and they'll learn how to make incredible changes in schools.
If someone
Oh,
wants to reach you, how would they reach out to you, actually?
Yeah, great question. They can go to canvascreekteams.com or they can email me at karend144@gmail.com.
Okay. So and we'll list that below as well for all of our
Yeah,
viewers.
for all of our viewers. Well, thank you so much, Miss Karen, for your time. Did you have anything else for us that you want to leave us with? Do you want to say something to the audience before we say our goodbye?
Oh my gosh, I just want to tell you guys that I so admire what you're doing for the world, and I appreciate you giving me this moment to use your platform
Oh, yeah.
to
Thank
remind people
you.
to take care of each other. Yeah, thank you.
Yes,
Thank you
ma'am.
for your time.
So
Until next time.
there is strength in sisterhood.
And supporting sisterhood.
Bye.
Bye.